Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to another edition of the Hackett Ministry Update, Australia edition. Yeah, we really do appreciate you guys watching our videos on a monthly basis and just keeping engaged with what's going on in Australia and what God's doing through the ministry here. Yeah, just wanted to double click on the Instagram outreach that we did about a month ago. Some really cool things that have been happening actually as a result of that. One of which we wrote in our prayer letter. And other really cool things like seeing people that have been connected through that survey coming to Bible studies, checking out weekly meetings, several opportunities for our team to actually be sharing the gospel and interacting with students that we would have never had the chance to. Some being Christians and some coming from a non-Christian background as well. So that's been really cool to see the Lord work in that way and put us in contact with students we otherwise wouldn't have known.
Yeah, and for us, things are continuing to slowly open back up after months of things being closed down. So life in Perth is beginning to involve more people face to face and being out and about. And so what we thought would be a cool thing is actually for a lot of our partners in our ministry to hear from an Aussie student what these last couple of months have been like with going through the coronavirus as a student. So a student that I've been meeting with, her name's Liesel, and we've been meeting up every week for discipleship, and we thought it'd be cool to just hear a little bit from her of her perspective. And we did over Zoom because our life is over Zoom these days. So we'd love for you to check that out. All right, well, hi Liesel. Could you share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, no worries. So my name is Liesel. I am a second year student studying at UWA, and I'm doing a science degree majoring in physiology. And I got involved with Power to Change at the start of this year. So one of my friends introduced me to Power to Change, and I went along to one of their events, and yeah, been part of it throughout semester one this year, and I've really enjoyed it. Yes.
So I'd like to hear just from your perspective as an Australian uni student how COVID-19 has impacted you.
Yeah, no worries. So I think it's definitely affected all Australian students, uni students. It's definitely affected the way we interact with each other, we communicate, and also how we live as well. So I've had all of my classes online this semester, even my labs for science. And I think there's advantages to this. I've been able to spend more time at home, which I think is great to spend with family. It's also very hard to communicate with people online. Also engaging with classes can be a bit harder as well. But yeah, there's positives and negatives to online teaching. Yes.
What's maybe one thing that God has taught you recently or is teaching you?
Yeah, great question. I think throughout this semester, God has been teaching me why I'm studying and why I'm particularly studying science. And I think over the past few years, I've been thinking about the whole education system, and even in high school and uni. And I think they very much drill in this mindset that you need to focus on your own grades, and what you put in is your own success, or what you achieve is based on yourself. But I think I've been thinking about this semester and worked out that it's actually, I think God's given me particular skills and gifts, and my role as a Christian is to use them to glorify Him. And yeah, so you can still study, and there's nothing wrong with studying at uni and doing well, but I think the reason why you do it is very important.
That's really cool. So you feel like God's given you a lot more purpose in your uni study over this semester?
Yeah, yes, definitely. And more clarity in I guess, my thinking and my perspective in life as well. Yeah, maturity. Yes.
That's really cool. Yeah, and I just wanted to ask if there's just anything, I guess, that you would want to share just with people, just about like COVID-19 or anything else that you've been experiencing as a student. So
yeah, sure thing. Yeah, I think COVID-19 has definitely affected everyone. It's caused people definitely to think about what they value in life, what they're putting their purpose in as well. And I think particularly for me, it's made me realise that we shouldn't necessarily be looking to the things of this world or the ways of this world, but instead be trusting in God. And it doesn't necessarily mean that this period of time is easy. People have lost their jobs and lots of other things have happened that it is not very nice. But it doesn't mean that we're alone in this. Like, God is here to help us and is with us through good and bad.
Yeah, really cool to hear from Liesl and just some of her thoughts and perspectives as a student here in Australia. And I hope you got a kick out of her accent. But yeah, we did want to also take some time just to acknowledge what is going on in the United States right now. And we realize that, yeah, things are probably pretty crazy for a lot of people, not only with the coronavirus, but now with the incident happening with George Floyd and the protests and riots and different things that are happening around the United States, and specifically in Minneapolis, as it hits very close to home. And maybe some of you even watching this right now live or work in or very close to Minneapolis. And so we just wanted to let you know that we are praying for you guys. We're praying for the country and for people of Minneapolis. And we're doing what we can to stay engaged, having conversations with people back in the United States, friends and family that are being impacted by this, and also doing what we can to educate ourselves and trying to be advocates for racial injustice that is happening in the United States.
Yeah, and I think even just being physically so far away from a lot of our friends and family, and even just community that we'd want to be with and to be shoulder to shoulder in a lot of this experiences has felt off for us. But even from a distance, we have, like Ian said, have desired to be engaged and connecting with friends and family and people that are impacted really uniquely, and also just listening and learning a lot from people of color in the U.S. for us to even have conversations about racial issues, learning and unlearning things in our life, and even just having conversations here in Australia with students and people that we're connected to. So yeah, we wanted to just mention that too. It's something that we care about and have been impacted by, and wanted to let you all know that we are thinking of you and are sending love during this time.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys a ton. Thanks so much for tuning in again, and we'll see you next month on the next Hackett Ministry Update.